Turn it up, let's ignite. Monday nights in the ring under bright lights. Hit the ropes, no script, feel the raw vibe. We break it all down, never let it slide. 2 shows, 1 cup, bringing heat to your face. Every suplex chop, yo, we set the pace. No cap, no filter, we calling it tight. It's We Like It Raw every Monday night.
Hello and welcome to We Like It Raw, the wrap-up show. Exclusively here on 2 shows, 1 cup. Join with me tonight, Anthony Pires. Anthony, how are you?
Hey, yo, how are you?
And the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn.
She's very tired.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. Yes. Excited to be here with y'all.
I can tell. Control yourself, young lady.
I know.
I think this was a good episode tonight.
Oh, hell of an episode, Dave. Hell of an episode.
Great lead into Backlash. I'm kicking myself that I won't be able to watch Backlash live because I'm going to be in the ring Saturday night.
Hopefully not wrestling because, man your age, Dave.
No.
You cannot be taking the pounding that we all want to see you get.
No, I'm going to administer the 3 counts and apply justice.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I think it kind of helped move stories along. Like you said, good lead up to Backlash.
Call me crazy, guys. I think the build to Backlash has been a hell of a lot better than the build to WrestleMania.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you make a great point there.
I hate to say it, without he who shall not be named, The Rock, without him kind of interfering, they've kind of just let them do their thing. And I got to tell you, 5 or 6 match card, I think we have a hell of a show coming this Saturday. And Monday Night Raw got me excited for it.
I think there's a great build to it. And they're doing all this without Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Good. He needs to take a break. We can't miss him if he won't go away.
Yes, sir.
Very true.
Very
true.
We kicked off the show tonight with a Jey Uso promo. Jay came out and hey, I got to admit, the dude looks good with the belt.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a champion.
Paul Heyman comes out and gives us a great justification of why he chose how he chose. And when you think about it, he's absolutely right.
That was great. I thought that was really, really good about how he just, again, told it from his, I'm the bad guy. He's the one who made me pick it, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. Those are really good.
Jey Uso needed a promo. Jey Uso needed a great promo tonight. And man, Paul Heyman helped him deliver.
But I really think that normally when you're a bad guy, you'll lie and make it the truth. But Heyman really didn't have any. He wasn't telling lies because Roman did run off and leave him with Solo and the Bloodline, and they were abusing him and beating him up. And then all he did is come back for his Eufaula. So the whole thing really, I just don't think there's anybody. For years, I would never take Bobby the Brain Heenan out of the number 1 spot. But I got to tell you that it's Paul Heyman.
To me, it's Jim Cornette, Bobby Heenan, Paul Heyman, Gary Hart.
Yeah.
With Gary Hart being number 4, and it pains me because I love Gary Hart, but that's my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I never thought anybody would overtake him, but Paul Heyman's firmly in my number 1 spot now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm with you. It's hard to beat Jim Cornette.
Well, Jim Cornette was great on the mic, but Bobby Heenan could take the bumps. He could do the physical and the talking. Jim was very limited in his physical.
Yeah, but what he did.
Oh, yeah.
Bones.
I mean, he's the top 3. He's definitely the top 3. And I love Gary Hart, but I'm with Anthony. Gary Hart was just so cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
David put a tear in my eye when he was inducted the Legacy Wing that time. I felt justified when that happened.
Yeah.
But let's go back to Raw.
Let's do that because you get me off on World Class, and
I'm going to bed. No,
Amy will just go.
yeah, I'm tapping out.
He said that Braun Breaker was phase 1 of the plan, and phase 2, that's the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Jay took the bait, and we're going to see them all backstage celebrating that how it was just to get him to snap on that. And then we have a title match in the main event tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, Dave and Amy, but do you agree? I think these shows are so much better when there's an ongoing storyline throughout. The opening segment, we set up our main event, and there's a couple of little Easter eggs, little things here and there throughout the show that get you excited for that main event. So the whole show tonight was leading towards that top spot, and goddamn, did that match deliver!
Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of halfway expected a title change tonight. But we'll get to it. Our second match of the night, we had Penta versus a returning JD McDonough. Penta is, I don't know, man. WWE has just amplified Penta's presentation.
Yep.
I mean, it's the same mask and everything, but And I'm not down in the other channel. I'm just saying.
No.
It's just. I guess I am kind of.
You don't have to.
Well, here's how I view WWE, and this is timely with the releases. WWE is like a chain of sit down restaurants. Your Bennigan's, your Chili's, your Outback Steakhouses. They'll sign a talent and they'll have them on the menu for a long time. And then they'll take that item off the menu. And if it's a really good item, that item will be back on the menu someday. Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
That's my example. While AEW is more of your fast food with limited time offers. Like you'll have the Outrunners. The Outrunners were nacho fries. They were in there. They were the hottest thing going. And then you're showing up to get some more nacho fries. And they said, well, nacho fries are gone. So now you got to wait a couple more months for nacho fries to come back. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Lance Archer's kind of like going to Carl's Jr. because you want one of those hand dipped ice cream sandwiches they make with the 2 cookies. And then you go and they say, well, we're not doing that right now. So you get just enough and then it's gone. And then it's back and you're off and on with it. So that's how I kind of look at it. And I think now they've put Penta on the menu, and he's gonna be a mainstay on the menu for a long time.
Dave, not only are you making great points, but you're making me hungry as hell. But yeah, exactly. The presentation of Penta seems like a star. He stands out here. I don't know why, because Dave, correct me if I'm not wrong. Dave and Amy, you were both with me at the steel cage match in Chicago when Penta and Phoenix faced the Young Bucks. We weren't sitting together, but we were all in the same building that night, and we know how great these guys are. But man, what a superstar presentation Penta has in this company. And God, and by the way, JD frickin' McDonough. That guy's a stud. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
That guy's a freaking stud.
Yeah, I think he's a hidden treasure, if you will.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Rey Mysterio has kind of passed the torch to Penta, and maybe that's what he had, and maybe that's what was missing in AEW. It's like, they were establishing their stars to where this is kind of like, okay, this is going to be our luchador, for lack of a better word. And
well, I think he showed up and bumped Dragon Lee out of the spot.
Well, and he might have, but I mean,
Dragon Lee, but yeah.
What I feel like that's what we're seeing out of Penta, and I'm like you, I love it. I mean, I loved him in AEW. That cage match, that entrance, that's probably the best part of the whole thing was their entrance at All Out. But,
and they must think a lot of him because they didn't just run Rey Fenix in there with him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
The time is not now to put them together. The
Which
time
means
now is.
they think a lot of Ray Phoenix on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
They keep them separate, and you've got some great Latin superstars on both channels.
And now with their purchase of AAA, it'll be interesting to see how that all ends up. Good night, Billy.
Good night, Billy. Thanks for popping in.
It'll just be real interesting to see how all of that kind of, plays in, weaves in and out.
Well, this was the Judgment Day was doing all they could to knock Penta off his game. Finn finally gets caught by the referee, and they get booted.
Mm-hmm.
So he hits the Mexican Destroyer, and that really looked good too.
Looked great.
That's a move that's gotten really watered down
Completely. But it got the win tonight.
It did.
Thank you. I love that move as a finisher. I hate it as a transition.
And I think that's what's watered it down. I was surprised. I was kind of surprised that it was the finish, but it looked strong enough to be the finish. So I'm glad they did it.
I'm with you, Anthony. That's a heck of a move. And for them to just use it as a transitional move, it's like, that takes a lot of coordination on both people's part to get that. When you think that should be, it's called a destroyer for a reason. Like, I feel like it should
end a match.
That should exclamation point, in the match.
And I hate the fact that it gets used all the bloody time without it being a finish. So tonight was such a breath of fresh air.
Well, the Canadian Destroyer is a setup move. The Mexican Destroyer is a finisher.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
On Cinco de Mayo, nonetheless. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee put over McDonough's toughness following that lung injury. Now they're calling him the Iron Lung.
Guys, earlier today I stubbed my toe, and I was down for about 90 minutes before I could get back on my feet. Jay McDonough collapses a lung. And he's the man.
The lung that's the part that surprised me. It was almost getting his head cut off on the table.
Yeah, the injury, if you remember, it looked like he banged his head. I'm like, oh, he's concussed. It was the freaking lung. I'm like, wow.
Austin Theory and Sheamus.
Didn't care.
You had Grayson Waller. I didn't really care for this match.
I'm great. I'm glad he's back. I don't care.
Yeah, the crowd seemed into it.
I made a bagel.
I think
Omaha was they were down for anything and everything. They had the Nebraska coach players in the, in the arena. They had some UFC fighter dude, but they seemed like a hot crowd because they were just excited that they had Raw there.
How about Matt Rule in the crowd? That coach was fired up and looked like he was having a great time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're obviously teasing. I say they're teasing the Theory Waller split, but they've been teasing it for a long time.
But they got to make people care. Who cares if they split? And I hate that for them, but I don't care.
Remember a few years ago when Austin Theory was like on the way up and was going to be the next big thing?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Terry. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Hope you're
Terry
doing well
Weaver,
too.
how are you?
Let me, unless they're going to split them up for one of them to be a third in the Paul Heyman group, I think Austin Theory would benefit the most from it.
Clearly. I like Waller, but Theory's clearly better. If they're adding another guy to the Paul Heyman group, it should be Theory over Waller.
Definitely, because Theory's just, he's got the better look. Waller has always just been smarmy, too much of a chicken shit.
Just even tonight, he didn't want to wrestle Sheamus. He put Theory in there.
Yeah, I think if out of the two, I think Waller goes to the barbershop window.
Yeah, yeah. And with respect to him, because I don't dislike Waller, but he's just not. It's not working out.
Yeah.
This is
Put it
this
this
is
way.
not good for him.
If they had cut him Friday, would you miss him?
Mm-mm.
No.
At least I know who he was. There were
Yeah.
names on there. I wasn't even for sure who they were.
There's a lot of names on there. But then AEW let a couple of guys go today, and I can honestly tell you I've never seen them perform.
Oh, who'd they let go?
Don't put me on the spot like that, Amy.
Oh, sorry. I'll look it up tomorrow. Won't be tonight.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is that like who?
By the way, Amy, Sharon just walked by and wanted me to say hello.
I love you,
Hello,
Shannon.
Miss Sharon.
Shannon.
Shannon, excuse me.
That's okay.
It's late. Karrion Cross popped in with Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly is so good. They've let her develop. They've let her develop a personality.
Yep.
It was a promo about his the devil you know versus the devil you don't know line,
Mm-hmm.
and he's calling his fans bad guys. So I think he's going to be a cool heel.
He's getting a little push. I like that.
And then we saw some tension with Theory and Waller. And then Becky Lynch. Here she comes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw the New Day. Talking to Chad Gable.
Mm. Oh,
Forgot to mention that Chad Gable came out and tried to interfere, and Penta put him down. Gave him the dive. But Becky Lynch kind of walks up, and then she continues to the ring. And her and Lyra Valkyria are going to have a face-to-face. And I think that Lyra really came off. I think she needed it because
she was great.
She hasn't looked strong in her confrontations with Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Becky's just got a hold of her. But
tonight was a change. Tonight, this to me was the Tiffany Stratton promo that she cut on Charlotte Flair. I think Lyra looked great tonight, and she sounded great. She looked like a star. She put some importance on that Intercontinental Women's title, which, let's be honest, since she won it, they have not focused on it.
No.
But man, they really did I think the both of them did a fantastic job.
Let's do a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that Becky puts her over. It does nothing for Lyra. It does nothing for Becky to win the Intercontinental title, and it destroys Lyra if she loses, to me.
I agree. I think Lyra wins with a quick one. I think the feud continues, but Lyra keeps the title.
Yeah, I don't think she has to win strong. I think she still won. Schoolboy, small package. She doesn't have to hit her with a finish, but
maybe okay. So I'll take the opposite. I say Becky wins, but she cheats, and that's again you got the baby. Then you get the babyface chasing with a legit claim because she didn't even get beat fairly. Especially if we see Becky making this change, being more of the bad guy. That's me. I'll go Becky wins, but she cheats somehow. And I do want to say this. I don't know. Do y'all watch the commercials? I mean, do you ever watch any? Okay.
Yeah.
The Minute Maid commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the juice or whatever it says. Minute Maid is not juice. So I want that. It drove me crazy the whole entire time. Every time I saw it, it's not juice. So I don't know why they're saying that.
Our resident dietitian. So yes,
exactly.
But it's not carbonated.
But okay, neither is water. So we're gonna call that juice.
No, but I'm saying as far as the way it's classified, the way it's priced in the drink box, it's not a carbonated beverage like.
Right. But it's not juice.
Like Captain's daughter.
I took a fist to that. I did not like that they kept saying, grab the juice. I'm like, Minute Maid, you are not juice. What you're peddling was not juice. But anyway.
Terry Weaver, put your dirty mind at ease, for God's sakes.
She could use an upgrade, Terry. I'm pulling for you. And JD Hoop is absolutely right. Cross is the man.
I do. I'm with y'all. I hope good things happen to him because he just hasn't got his footing. I don't know what it
Can I
is.
tell you, out of all the interactions I had, when I was at Ric Flair's last match, they told us to go and talk to the talent and tell them that after the match they could come out if they wanted to celebrate with Rick. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can come down there. And my interaction with him and Scarlett there was just two of the very most genuinely nice people that I encountered. And there was a lot of people there that night. I mean, he made just such a great impression on me as a person.
By the way, Dave, I heard you administered the 3 count in that match.
I did. I did. You don't believe me, just ask me. I'll tell you.
Dave, I on a side, I knew how much that meant to you. It put a tear in my eye how happy you were that night.
It was something. It was something that I don't know that I'll ever be able to top it.
Adam O'Neill's my witness as to how happy I was that night.
Well, thank you. Let's keep it going. Next up, we had Io Sky and Roxanne Perez.
Banger.
This was a banger.
Yeah.
This was a banger.
I hope people are really opening their eyes to Io Sky. She is amazing. And I think a lot of people did focus on Rhea and Bianca in the 3-way, not thinking maybe she was going to make much of a happening. But
she stole the show.
Really good. Very athletic. She keeps things moving and flowing in that ring. And Roxanne was a good partner for her.
And I haven't said this, but remember last WrestleMania, Io kind of had to step aside and give Bayley her moment. I was so happy that she got the win this year.
Yeah.
She got her moment, and God almighty.
Well, the whole story was getting her respect.
Yeah.
And then not only did she get her respect, she stole the match.
I can see, and after I can see Roxanne as a major, major player. Can you guys?
Yes.
I think those NXT girls, there's a lot of good talent from NXT right now. I mean, it's almost like that second class. Like, you think about the Becky and Charlotte and Bayley, Alexa, that was all down there at NXT and they kind of came up.
Yep.
I feel like that's what we're kind of seeing with this group of ladies, with Roxanne and Julia, Stephanie. There's somebody else, but Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just feel like that's what you're kind of seeing now, too, is kind of like that second evolution, if you want to call it, of women. And we're seeing it, right there on the screen. Yes, we're seeing it on the screen.
I think the NXT women are blowing away the men. They are blowing away most everything in wrestling right now.
Much like the way that the women's division was doing the men's division and on the main roster a few years ago.
Yeah.
The women's matches are generally better. I mean, Julia is arguably one of the best women wrestlers in the world. And Stephanie Vacour, oh my God.
Yes.
God almighty.
And I'm forgetting the other one. Stephanie Vacour. There was another one.
There's Roxanne's still down there.
But then you got Io, like I said, and Io's in the mix. She just gets a roll up.
Lyra was in NXT. I don't know who you're thinking of.
I think I was thinking about Io because Stephanie Vacour came up and challenged her the other night, and I think I just got confused. There's just so many, and like I said, Jordan Grace is almost getting lost in the mix.
And
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
it's okay. If you get lost, you're elderly.
Yes, I am.
It's okay. Well, you'll get tucked in here in a little bit.
I'm an elderly, and there's a T-shirt to prove it.
Get your milk and mag or whatever meds you have to take at night, and Stephanie will tuck you in, and you'll be good to go. But
but the beatdown, I like that they did the beatdown. They took advantage of the fact that Rhea was in Australia on promotional work. and then they put it to her, and it was it's almost like that Julia's playing second fiddle though to Roxanne.
That's not a knock on Julia. That's a plus to Roxanne.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think most people are familiar with Julia. Like, I mean, I know that Roxanne's been around a little bit, at least NXT wise, like, and come back to the roster back and forth. I don't think people know who Julia is.
Yeah, if you had to be a Stardom fan and following the Japanese wrestling to have a clue who she was. I mean, I kind of halfway paid attention to it, but until I saw her on a Pro Wrestling Illustrated Women's Edition,
and
I didn't even know who she was, and wasn't sure how to pronounce her name.
And I'm pretty sure the blue hair is new. Like, I don't remember that.
You're right.
So I mean, again, people may not even recognize who she is, which is fine. But I'm just saying, being like you said, coming up with her, I didn't know who she was at first with the hair. I didn't know who I was looking at, but it's probably good. Roxanne is more name recognition, and like you said, Anthony, it'll only help them both.
Yeah, Roxanne. I think Roxanne's a year or two away from being a tippy top star in the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
She is a freaking star.
And I mean, they're already rubbing her up next to Rhea,
so
it could come quicker. I mean, because Rhea's Io and Rhea are kind of the reluctant tag team. But it's a matter that she got Rhea's respect.
I do want to point out that Roxanne is younger than my sons, so which makes me go to my sons, what the hell are you guys doing with your friggin' lives?
Exactly. But Rhea, I mean, still, Rhea doesn't really have any competition. I mean, if you look at the women's division, I mean, maybe a Charlotte, but I mean, Rhea really doesn't. I mean, I feel like she can out. I guess
Bianca.
Yeah, but even then, if I really think about Rhea and Bianca, like Rhea is just higher up for me. Like, I just don't see anybody on her level, even Bianca. But Bianca's been doing a lot of tag work too. So I mean, in the past anyway.
Rhea are shining really bright right now.
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
hopefully she doesn't get derailed by injuries again anytime soon. And now here's a debut that I've been looking forward to, and I'm gonna tell you, I was a little disappointed that Lana wasn't with him. Return of the Belgian Brute.
He returns on Rusev Day.
Yes, Rusev.
How poignant.
Rusev versus Otis. I thought
he looked awesome.
He did look good. I like the new music. I like that. I like the background. I like.
We got to get him a new entrance though. That taking a few steps forward and jumping and it doesn't work without the pyro. And it didn't work when they turned the pyro off on him before. But he could come out and he could do the stomp and just. But the way he does it without the pyro, kind of just, it always is off-putting to me when he does that. But I want him with Lana. I want Lana as the Ravishing Russian back.
But his promo was kind of a Redeemer promo.
Kinda.
There was some hints of the Rusev we've seen is more the AEW Miro so far, which is interesting because they let him do that.
It's a little more than just Rusev Crush, but
yeah, Machka.
But he left him laying, and I loved how Tozawa backed him down just until he wasn't paying attention, and he came back in and destroyed him again.
But Dave and Amy, didn't the commentary kind of seem like he wants to take Tozawa and Otis under his wing and redeem them?
Yeah, because what did he say? He's here to. What did the commentator say? Rusev was here to not clean up.
They used the word redeem. They definitely used the word redeem.
I know what you're saying. What did they say? But yeah, they were definitely pushing a story of something that he was here to clean out the riffraff or whatever. I don't know the exact words. But yeah, you could definitely see something like that.
And man, can you imagine Otis as his right hand as a heavy, as
And they
opposed to
need. Go ahead.
as
I'm
opposed to the
sorry.
comedy he's at right now? Yeah.
Yeah,
And Otis and Tozawa and the girl, I don't even know her name. They need
Maxine.
something. Maxine, that's right, Dupree. They need something, since they got broke up from an Alpha Cat or whatever, since Gable left them or whatever they're doing, like they're just kind of floundering, So they need a change. And if Rusev's it,
well,
let's see. Let's see
Otis
what
being Otis is fun, but it has a shelf life.
Yeah. Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
And
Nothing wrong with being a comedy character, but after a while, you've got to Hooper get off the pot with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and plus two, he's not 120 string bean, like he's got other attributes that he could use his strength and power that he could do something else,
he
Exactly.
got ultra
Exactly.
focused like he was with Chad Gable there for a while. Him and Rusev could be, they could be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, they could go against any team.
Machka.
And people forget that Otis is a legitimate shoot wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we're going to get a face-to-face. Pat McAfee preparing to get his ass handed to him this Saturday by Gunther.
But damn, wasn't this good?
See, I don't care for it at all. I do not want to see Pat McAfee versus Gunther. I think it's beneath Gunther. I don't know what they're doing to Gunther. I just don't like it. I don't know how this goes well for anybody. Personally, I just don't like it.
They're serving up Pat McAfee to Gunther to be a refocused Gunther. I don't think that McAfee's gonna get. I doubt very seriously he gets very much in. I think he's going to get destroyed. I think it's going to be. I don't know if McAfee needs a little time off for anything.
That's the only way this will work, because I mean that's just not. If you're supposed to have. Do what, Anthony?
Pat will get a hope spot or two in this thing, but I think ultimately Michael Cole's going to throw the towel in for him.
Oh, that's a good call.
Because the beating that Gunther needs to give him to get this over should be epic.
Unless the referee's going to stop it because he's asleep.
Yep. And if Michael Cole, or maybe he puts him out, but Michael Cole goes in and tries to save him.
I do think you're right.
Gunther is going to kill him.
Or is this the opportunity for someone to try to rescue Pat McAfee that we're introducing in to be the next big challenge for Gunther?
Like who? Who do you think?
Would Karrion Kross step in?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because
it does seem like a reach. I'm trying to think.
The sad thing is they've teased Goldberg on other interviews, so I'm afraid.
Oh, this would be a good time for that then. If Goldberg's going to get his retirement match against Gunther in Saudi Arabia. Ooh, you got a point there. Speaking of spears, no one in the history of wrestling has done more for the spear than Bron Breakker.
Oh, Jesus
he has taken the spear to another level.
That is a weapon of mass destruction.
Man,
especially
nobody does it.
Launched from 10 feet away.
He makes everybody else's spear look like a headlock, Goldberg included.
Yeah,
and Goldberg had a devastating spear.
So,
ooh, I like that, Anthony.
Yeah, I do too. For Gunther,
I still get excited when Goldberg shows up.
I know
you gotta love the aura the guy has.
But yes, Gunther though has to be put in a program with someone that he can defeat. So, like, I hope that this, and I think I will watch it Saturday night. I hope this goes well, exactly like you all are talking, that it's like a 30-second pummel, and then he keeps beating on them, and they have to, get people out there because he's so mad. Because if not, then I just really think it kind of brings Gunther down. Plus, I don't know. And then he's got to keep it up because, oh, okay, he's big and bad. He beat a commentator. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have the next person that comes out or whoever his next opponent is, he's going to have to beat the crap out of them too, you know?
McAfee is more than a commentator, though. We've established that.
Yeah, yes. Not like the Spanish announcer or something, jerk one of them up. But why did they let Gunther, like, I don't understand why we're even in this position that we need this. I never thought Sammy should have beat him. And I never thought Gunther should have tapped to Jey Uso.
Yeah, I'm still saying that was a horrible, horrible finish. And he shouldn't have tapped so fast.
Exactly.
If he tapped, I mean, he reluctantly tapped where he was just in a position he couldn't get out, and he finally eventually had to do it.
He should have passed out.
But
I agree.
Gunther immediately going.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Keith agrees with you. Hey, everybody, this feud is setting up for Goldberg's return.
When are they going back to Saudi Arabia? Do we know?
Soon.
Well, so Backlash.
I think they even plugged it tonight.
Oh, they might have.
They said Saturday night's main event and whatever they're calling the next one in Jeddah or over there. They had the two. They had the two promos for it.
Okay, I saw the Saturday. I'm sorry. I saw the Saturday.
Amy's tired.
Man,
I am tired. I'm terrible.
You gotta love that she's hanging with us, though, Anthony.
I know. I try.
Well,
the
that's
Saturday
all
night
right.
main event. I seen that. Yeah.
We're moving on to the main event.
Oh,
yes.
Paul Heyman presents Seth freaking Rollins, accompanied by Braun Breaker, against the heavyweight champion of the world. The main event, Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, let me ask you this, and everyone who's listening in, when was the last time you saw a world title match on Raw where you honestly didn't know the outcome? This could have gone either way in 4 different directions.
I did not see it going the way that it went.
Yeah.
I honestly thought we were switching the title tonight.
Me too.
Yeah,
which is why I love the match.
Because Jey doesn't have a match for. Is Jey defending against Logan Paul this weekend?
I don't think they announced it.
Yeah, I did think he had a match, so I kind of thought that it would stand to reason that they may do that. And I was trying to figure out how they were going to get out of it, and I think CM Punk coming out and interfering. I liked what they did with Sammy. I liked what they did with Sammy. Sammy trying to neutralize Braun Breaker. He's got the ribs taped up. How it's set up for Braun to because Paul pulled the referee. It was brilliant the way that he had the referee pulled. Braun spears Jey, throws him in there. Now I kind of think Jey was a little sloppy in the ring tonight, honestly.
But Jey's not a classic wrestler.
No, but I mean, even the curb stomp didn't look all that great that he took. But we think that we thought we were going to get that, and here comes CM Punk, and a perfect time.
And
I wasn't thinking CM Punk.
By this point, we'd forgotten CM Punk.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't. Yes, I'm with you. I think that's the reason why I wasn't for sure how this match was going to go, that there could be a title change, because I wasn't thinking about who could help Jey in this position. I mean, exactly,
because Sammy had already been neutralized.
Exactly. You're like looking at it. It's like, okay, who is there to help?
Can we agree right now? Sami Zayn is winning the Royal Rumble next year.
I could see it. I could see it.
He is so hot right now. You got to give that to him.
That's a long way away.
I kind of think his whole involvement in this angle, the way they did it last week, was just rabbit ass stupid. There's no way in the world that a sane man could have thought he was going to go out there and not get his ass kicked.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to walk out there. There's Braun Breaker. There's Seth. There's Paul Heyman. I'm going to say all this stuff, and they're not going to kick my ass. I know we got from point A to point B, but I think we we just kind of we didn't raise the bar real high on that one. We didn't put some big thinking into how we get him into it. I mean, I knew when he came out and they were talking because for one, I never really thought that Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn were that tight to begin with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
came out
now
of
all of a
nowhere.
sudden
That did come out of
go way back.
Mhm.
So
That makes sense.
I mean, it didn't work for me. And I was even wondering up to some point tonight, was this all just a setup for Sammy to be the third man in that group?
Yeah,
But then,
I don't think so, but I never thought that because I just think Sammy is the ultimate babyface right now.
Right. He's definitely one of those that stands with loyalty, like with his friends and that kind of stuff in the previous,
well, they did
show
an interview earlier this week. They showed clips of it with Stephanie McMahon on a boat with all of the bloodline, all the Samoas, and Sammy's included in that group. And they were talking about that it's not just family. I mean, when they bring them in, they're not just friends; they're family. And they had them all. Sammy was a part of it. I mean, they broke kayfabe because Jacob was there, Tama Tonga. They were all on the boat.
Well, that makes sense.
Stephanie took a selfie. It looked like the beginning of a Brazzers video.
But like you said, that makes sense because Sammy was such a huge part of the bloodline early.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that he would still be enthralled in all of that.
Well, I think he was friends, and then he was already friends with them and hanging with them and traveling with them, and then just kind of got himself interjected into it, and let's face it, Sammy was the best part of the bloodline there for a long time.
Absolutely.
Just trying to make them break every week was I mean, that was must-see television.
Definitely.
But the real question I have is, Dave, what is a Brazzers video? I've never heard of that before.
Sure you have it, Anthony. Sure you have it.
I haven't. Tell me, Pondwater.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. I have no idea.
Brazzers is a porn company.
Oh, okay. No, I would not have known that.
She would. Our delicate flower Amy would not have known that.
Oh. I've just been told.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Oh, yeah. So Rollins wins by disqualification. I mean, Rollins defeated Uso by disqualification. As we know, on a disqualification, the championship does not change hands. How'd you like the pedigree counter?
Oh,
the replay showed it better. The live action made it look like he headbutted him in the nuts. But from the other angle, you could see it really did look like he got the pedigree on him. So
right.
In real time, at first, it was kind of like, oh, that looked like it was kind of looked like a botch. And then you realized it was a pedigree.
I definitely like CM Punk coming out.
Terry Weaver.
Oh, Lord.
I'll watch the videos for the articles. I love you for that, Terry.
Terry, I heard that Playboy actually had articles in it. I didn't hear about that. I didn't know that, but I heard Playboy magazine had articles. God damn.
I had a cousin. We just started getting Playboy. I'd get a subscription. I never ordered a subscription, but I got a subscription to Playboy. And a subscription to Playboy was coming to my mother's house. And my cousin Mickey, God rest his soul, would give everybody Playboy subscriptions as a gift. But he'd re-up, and if you did that, then they'd give him the videos. They'd mail him the videos and the gifts. He'd get all the gifts for doing the subscriptions. But I'd go over to my mom's house, and my grandmother would be in there reading the articles.
Oh my Lord.
Hey, and I will say, the Playboy had excellent articles in them. Excellent writing in Playboy magazine.
Swear to God, my sister's old roommate was a finalist for Playmate of the Month. She didn't win. She didn't make it. God, I wish she had so I could see it. But yeah, no, she didn't make it.
But I mean, Playboy, they interviewed presidents.
Yeah.
Are they still?
No,
At least they're not
I
even
think they're
on
a digital. I think they're a
social.
digital publication now.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they weren't being printed, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're in print anymore.
I did not know. All right, it's past my bedtime.
So
Me too.
let's put a button on this Raw. How are we going to grade it tonight?
A.
You going to give it an A?
I'm gonna give it an A because not an A plus, not an A plus, not an A plus. I'm gonna be fair, but I love tonight's show.
I think he was wanting us to do jars. Were you wanting us to do jars?
No, we'll do jars tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Four and a half jars. How's that?
4.5 jars. There you go.
I'm trying to think. I think it was a 3. I liked it, but I could have done without some of the stuff. Yeah.
It was a solid 4 for me. 4 jars out of 5. I mean, the Sheamus match was really the only one I could have done without. And I hate to be that way because I like Sheamus.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, there wasn't a whole lot that took me out of this episode.
No.
I couldn't poke a hole. I couldn't poke a lot of holes in it.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely moving us towards Backlash, which is good.
And it makes, like I said, I have to referee Saturday night. I'm going to watch Backlash, and hopefully I can watch it without spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I really hate that I'm not going to be able to watch it live. That's how excited I am from the promotion of this PLE that I won't be able to watch it live. And I guess they've done their job at that point.
That's very true. That's a good way to think about it.
Anthony, you got anything coming up this week?
Oh my goodness, I will tell you Wednesday night on PWInsiderElite.com, myself and Corey Stroh will be breaking down AEW Dynamite. And I'm just going to watch Backlash like everybody else. So subscribe to AEW, subscribe to PW Insider so you can hear the real post-game show.
I like it.
Amy, me and you tomorrow night, we're going to review Hollywood Demons.
I watched it.
The Real Iron Claw
yesterday. Yep, I watched it yesterday. It was really good.
You know, we went in depth with the Iron Claw, so I'm looking forward to talking about Hollywood Demons. Kevin Von Erich tells his side. The people that were there, the daughters, Carrie's daughters, the bodyguard, Brian Adias. I think it was a really good episode, and I'm looking forward to going over it. And we're going to do the 7 wrestler theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 7 wrestler theory, and Amy has trivia. She overachieved.
I did.
She overachieved and sent trivia. So we're going to have a jam-packed show tomorrow night on Talking Wrestling with Palmwater and Amy.
We're going to have a good time.
All right. And click that subscribe button. We're having tremendous growth on the Friday before last. 10 days ago, we celebrated our 1,000th subscriber. Tonight, we topped 1,500. In 10 days, 500 more. The train is rolling. 2 shows, 1 cup is where it's at. Click subscribe, hit that button because you never know when we're going live. We could do an AEW post show. We could do SmackDown. We're going to try to keep this because we like it raw.
Oh, by the way, did you guys all hear me on the Bob Smith Outdated Wrestling Hour podcast last week?
When? What day?
Oh my God, I posted on my Facebook all the time. It was last week. Bob Smith, the Outdated Wrestling Hour. Bob Smith and I. Bob Smith, the former managing editor of Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. And we went.
I missed that, Ethan.
So yes, it's on iTunes, not iTunes, but it's on what's that thing? Spotify, iTunes, and
anywhere that you get your pods.
Anywhere you get your podcasts, for God's sakes. But yes, last week, Bob Smith and I had a great hour-and-a-half discussion.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out.
Bob Smith. I'll look for that.
The Outdated Wrestling Hour.
Outdated Wrestling Hour.
I like that.
Sounds like something I would enjoy.
I think you would, Dave.
I've been told I'm outdated. Until next time, she's Amy Vaughn. He's Anthony Pyrus. I'm Palmwater Dave. Thank you for joining us on We Like It Raw. We'll see you next time on 2 shows, 1 cup.